I love that. Our wonderful guest and friend, Kath Shirley, picked our music for today. Welcome, one and all, to our Sunday gathering. I'm Sandra. If we haven't met yet, it was almost 7 years ago that we started this Sunday gathering out of dark times. When that old virus hit the earth, we thought we'd create, something temporary, keep us motivated, but it's become a worldwide sensation. So we are here each and every week to put a smile on your face, comfort your heart, give you a little inspiration and empowerment for life, and to really celebrate that life goes on. Our loved ones who have passed are still with us, very much part of our lives. So we try to do that within each and every one. Today, I'm joined by the wonderful Kath Shirley. She is a longtime medium, a tutor, an advanced grief recovery specialist. She's been president of a spiritualist church. She's a funeral celebrant, a mom, and so many other things. Her husband, Mitch, was supposed to be with us today, but he is under the weather. So we will send him some healing prayers today. So Kath will be doing our prayers, our medium demonstration, and also our address. I'll be doing the reading and the healing and the announcements and words of the week and all those little bits and music videos in between. So it's just us gals here today and you folks from all around the world. We're so happy you're here. I'm going to turn it over to Kath, maybe to explain our theme a little and to open us up in prayer. But welcome, everyone.
Hello, thank you, Sandra. It's nice, isn't it? Just us girls today. Although Mitch is that side of the computer sitting, he's not well, but he'll get better, I am sure. And he thanks you for your healing prayers too. So today is about the light within. It's about healing. It's about hope. It's about resilience, and it's about the spirit near and far, nearer rather than further, because they're never ever very far away, that's for sure. And regardless of what people might feel or think, the spirit world are always there, encouraging us, picking us up when we need to be picked up, encouraging all of the things that go on within our lives. They're there to be a shoulder to cry on. They're there to cheer us on when everything goes well, and equally when things don't go so well. They're just there for us no matter what. So I'd like to open this service in prayer. If you would just like to take a few moments and just gently be at one with yourself to begin with. Divine Spirit of love and light, today we come together across the miles with open hearts, bringing with us our hopes, our questions, our dreams, and all our weariness and strength. We ask that your ever present gentleness be with us this day, giving us that quiet reassurance, giving us that calm, that warmth, and that love that we have come to know so well in our lives. Today, we ask that this short time that we are together be a place for healing, where perhaps hearts may soften, where the light within each person is honoured, respected, and renewed. And for those who come seeking comfort, those who are new to this evening, we offer tenderness. And for those who feel a strong sense of purpose, for those who feel unsure, we also offer that love and a place to sit in this very large table, this large gathering of people, regardless of the fact that we're not with one another in a physical sense. Dear Lord, we ask that you help us to understand, to acknowledge, and to remember that we are never alone, that Spirit walks beside us every moment that we walk, every moment that we breathe. The Spirit world and our Father God is there beside us, giving us strength where it is needed and a deeper awareness of the connection between one another and the spirit world too. And so we open this time together with gratitude, with love, with a sense of peace, hope, and of course, sharing all of those wonderful prayers and thoughts of healing. Amen.
Thank you so much, Kath. All right, the reading. Kath chose a wonderful theme, the light within. When I looked at her song list, I realized all the songs are about looking for something beautiful. But often when we look for that beautiful thing, it's outside of ourselves. We think, if I just get that job or the relationship, I'll be happy. Or if I just get that apology, I will have peace. We're always looking for the light to arrive. So let me tell you a story about a girl named Susie. Susie lived in a village that was always gray. It wasn't night, but it wasn't day. It was just dim. Everyone in the village carried a heavy iron lantern, but the lanterns were empty. The villagers walked around saying, "One day the great Sun King will come down from the mountaintop and put a spark in my lantern. Then I will be happy." So they waited and they waited. They sat on their porches holding their cold, empty lanterns, looking up at the sky. Is he coming yet? No. Okay, back to being grumpy. But Susie got bored of waiting. One day she saw an old woman drop a basket of apples. The apples rolled everywhere. Without thinking, Susie ran over. She laughed as she chased the apples. She helped the woman stand back up and picked up all the apples. And she left, giving that woman a great big hug. And suddenly, flicker, a tiny golden glow appeared inside Susie's lantern. She was shocked. I didn't see the Sun King. Where did this spark come from? The next day, Susie felt sad because she missed her friend. But instead of pushing the sadness away, she sat with it. She was kind to herself. She treated herself like she would treat a best friend. Flicker, flash. The light in the lantern got bigger. Susie realized the secret. The light wasn't something you waited for. It wasn't something you caught from the sky. The fuel from the lantern was inside of her. It was her kindness. It was her hope. It was resilience. She ran through the village shouting, "Hey, you don't have to wait for the spark. You are the spark." She helped the baker. His lantern lit up. She listened to the mayor's problems. His lantern lit up. Soon the village wasn't gray anymore. It was blazing with light, not because the Sun King came down, but because the people finally woke up to the truth. So, what's the lesson? My friends, we are often like those villagers, aren't we? We wait for a miracle to fix us. We wait for the world to get better so we can feel safe. But as David Bowie sang in our opening song, we can be heroes. We don't need a superpower. We just need to realize that the hope, the healing, and the spirit we are looking for are already installed right in our hearts. You are the lantern. You are the lantern and you are the light. So we're going to go into our healing and we're going to hear a nice song. And after the song is over, we're going to hear from Kath for the address. But before we do, Kath sent me some beautiful words. So I'm wondering if you will close your eyes. I'll read them to you and then I'll play the music. Okay. So close your eyes if you're willing. Take a couple of deep breaths. Drop your shoulders. Let go of the waiting. And let these words I say settle into your heart. This is called Where the Light Finds Us. There is a place inside each of us where the noise softens, where the world loosens its grip, and the heart remembers how to breathe. It isn't far away. It isn't somewhere we have to travel to. It is simply the quiet space where love waits. When we sit together like this, with kindness in the room and hope held gently between us, something shifts. The weight we've been carrying grows lighter. The ache ceases, and we realize we were never walking alone at all. For those we call spirit do not live somewhere distant in the stars. They live in the light that brushes our thoughts, in the warmth that touches our hands, in the sudden memory that makes us smile through tears. Healing happens here, not with grand miracles, but softly, like dawn arriving. A little more light, a little more peace, a little more love than we had before. And for today, that is enough. So as we hear this beautiful song, just send that healing prayer to all those in need. Here's a beautiful song called Gabriel's Oboe.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was very emotional, wasn't it? That music. And hello, everybody, by the way. I don't know if you know, but that music, um, I'll read it to you, symbolizes a universal language of peace, faith, and connection, and is often played as a prayer or expression of spiritual hope. So there you go, and it really does. It makes the back of the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, doesn't it? I always feel that music like that is about as close to the spirit as you can possibly be. When a piece of music moves you like that, and you can feel it deep within your soul, something perhaps doesn't even have words, but you feel it, and you feel it deeply within who you are, and it resonates with you and it moves you, and you feel so emotional about that piece of music. And whenever you hear it, it stirs those emotions again and again and again. And yes, our light within is something that's continually there. What's it called? It's called Gabriel's Oboe, and it's by Ennio Morricone. And I believe that there are times in our lives when we really do struggle to sparkle. You know, our sparkles dim sometimes, and we really don't feel at our best. For whatever reason has gone on in our lives, we might have lost hope with something, we might have walked away from a situation, we might be grieving, we might be bereft. There are many reasons why we feel, well, depleted at times. Sometimes it can be because our physical selves really do need to be recharged, and so it does affect our spiritual self as well. But there is something that's universally accepted, and that is that that light remains. It might be a tiny flicker sometimes, but it will be there. Sometimes we have to do things to look at ourselves and ask ourselves questions about who we are and why we are in this position. Why has this situation happened to me? What can I do to make my life easier, to make my life better, to improve things for myself? And in all of the various different roles that I have ever done, I mean, I started off at 16 as a hairdresser, and I've done many, many, many different jobs through my life, but I've always worked with people. And I love working with people. It can be challenging at times, as I'm sure you can imagine. And I think you get to a point in your life where, you know, nothing surprises me anymore, nothing shocks me anymore, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. I don't feel I can be shocked anymore. And the human spirit has a way of fighting back. of never just sitting. We don't sit on our laurels for very long, do we? We often find that in the deepest, darkest depths of, well, dismay, unbelievability, grief, sadness, heartache, something makes us move forward. And somebody said to me not long ago, I'm very afraid that if my dad passes, I'll have a breakdown. And of course, we don't know how we're going to react. No, nobody and nothing in this world can truly help us with that. There's no ground rules to grief. There are no rules at all, and it's all very haphazard because we're all individual and we're all very different. But it's very difficult to prepare for these things. But I would say to anybody, you have the spark of the divine within you. You have your motivation. You might think that it's not there, but it is there. Believe me, it is there. You might feel that your wherewithal has gone, and and your get up and go has got up and gone. I don't know how you're all feeling right now, but I do feel that there is always something that keeps us going, regardless of how difficult it is. And by gum, life can be extremely difficult at times. But then again, in those moments where we are perhaps in those depths of despair, and whether it's a kindness shown or somebody telephoning us, somebody messaging, somebody has a kind word, whether it's at the supermarket or wherever you are, healing begins. And healing is always very subtle. It doesn't come with a bang. It's very subtle. People send us their healing thoughts, just as you have all done today. I want to say this evening because it's evening for us, but today you're sending your healing thoughts. So it's very subtle and it's loving, compassionate. There is a great deal of empathy from one spirit to another. And that comes softly. And we learn to carry what we have. And I think when I say that the pain that we endure in life is something that doesn't disappear. It's something that we carry with us, and a little bit like a big coat to begin with. And it doesn't leave us, and it feels quite heavy to begin with. And ever so gently, and we don't even notice what's happening, we begin to peel those layers a little bit, and we feel a gentleness within us. Grief definitely changes who we are. And also, with that gentleness, with that softness comes about a change. And it isn't that we have hope because we believe that everything's going to be all right. That's not what hope is. It's not denial either. Hope is about having no pretense about it. We're not pretending that it hasn't happened, whatever it is. But what we're doing is we are accepting and acknowledging with ourselves, with hope, with all the healing that's given to us from this world and from the unseen world, is that life has meaning. And when we can see that, yes, life has meaning, whether it's what you do, what you say, what you think, it all has meaning. We are all in this world for a reason. And when I say we don't deny it. We can't say that something didn't happen when it did happen. Something's happened in our lives to change us. We feel it and we have to deal with it on our own. So when we go through all these different phases, and it's very much a bit like this, and we feel, we cry sometimes. Sometimes people shout and scream and maybe into a pillow. And some people just want to sit in the quiet, and some people want to sit by themselves. Some people want to talk. We all do what we need to do, and we all do it our way. And when we have accepted that there is hope, that my life has meaning, and we begin to see that there is hope, we begin to dig in, and that's when our resilience builds, and we know that we will continue even when life is difficult. And I'm sure you will agree, you found times when you've seen yourself that if you look back over a situation that's been very, very difficult for you, that when you look back, you perhaps in that moment couldn't see yourself in a week's time, and yet a few months down the road, here you are. You are finding your feet once again. You are finding that life has purpose, that there is enjoyment to be had out of life, that we're not always going to feel guilty for smiling. I mean, goodness me, my dad had the most amazing sense of humor, and I know he would not wish me to deny the joy of life. He would not want me to do that. And I am quite sure that your loved ones wouldn't want you to deny yourselves things that bring you great joy and satisfaction and contentment and peace and happiness. That is what they all want for us. That's what we all wanted for them when they were here, right? That's what we want for ourselves and for each other. Yes. And so when we gather ourselves together and then the momentum builds, and we find that in the midst of all of our angst and uncertainty about what on earth is going on here, what am I doing? And we sit still, and we're driving somewhere, or we're sitting on the bus and we're going somewhere, or we're on an aeroplane, or sitting on the train, or sitting in a room full of people, and we can feel totally by ourselves and detached from everything. The nearness of the spirit world just comes close enough to make you realize I am loved. I love myself. And that's a really good thing. It's really, really not a good thing if you look in the mirror and you think, I don't like what I see. Because then we've got a lot of work to do around all of that. But what you see in that mirror, when you look at yourself in the morning or in the afternoon or whenever, I don't think we're always all comfortable with what we physically see. And I think to myself, who is that old woman? I don't know who she is anymore, because, we know in our heads we're 20 something. We don't grow old. Oh, goodness me, why should we? Where's the fun in that? And I only saw a video this morning of a gentleman. He was videoing his wife. I think he said they were in their 70s, which to me is young. And he said, we refuse to grow old. And picture the scene. It was all snow, and it was really thick snow. And the front of the property was quite a distance from where he'd got his camera. And she came on a sledge, on her stomach, on a sledge. He said, here comes Aileen with the post in her hand. And that's how she was coming down the drive. And I thought, yes, yes. You know, I don't know if you've read this. There is a reading about at the end of my life, I don't want to arrive in a comfortable seat. well looked after. I want to come in sideways, having drank the wine or whatever your tipple is, and eaten the chocolate and the cake and the biscuits and good new cookies, you say cookies, but lived, really, really lived. And when we do get to the other side, well, of course, all of those people who went before us, they'll all be there. So you might think to yourself, but that's all I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting to go. But that's not really enough. You're not doing enough. If you're sitting waiting, waiting for God, we used to have a sitcom called Waiting for God. And it was hilarious. It was about these old people. And I say old people, they weren't old, but the actors that weren't anyway. It was set in an elderly person's residential home. And they were always scheming about what they could do next to beat the system, which is my kind of people, I have to say. And why should we conform to whatever the norm says that we should do? Why can't we learn things no matter what age, what our date of birth is, doesn't really make a difference. Because in here, we're still very young. Okay, I get it, arthritis plays a big part. My hands don't work in the same way, but there's always a way around things. And if you can take this, whatever our physical limitations, there's always a way over it, under it, round it, or just go through it. There is always a way. If we sit and we say we can't, then we won't. If we deny ourselves the very best that this life has to offer by refusing to take part and sit and wait for God, it's going to be a very long, boring wait, ladies and gentlemen. And there isn't going to be a lot of fun along the way. And from my perspective, and I take on average 5 funerals every week. And I absolutely adore the ones where people have lived, where they've said, oh, no, I'm not going to do what I'm told. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to live, and that doesn't matter how old we are, how young we are, whichever way you look at it. Age is something up here. Limitations lives up here. And our one answer to everything, if we restrict ourselves, no, is up here too. So in our heads, we can put up many, many barriers, and equally, we can smash those barriers and we can say, I have a light within which is itching to get out there and shine. And in doing so, I'm going to take everybody else with me. And we're all going to have an absolute ball. We're going to have fun in our lives. We're going to say, in spite of what's gone on in my life, I'm going to live. And also, because of those people who have shared their lives with me, because those people loved me and loved me for who I am now going to live because I am loved, because I have hope, because I am resilient, and because they are going to be with me every step of the way when I'm doing all of these things, when I'm being a rebel, because that was another great song from David Bowie. Oh, wasn't he? Oh, look at that photograph of him. I was like, oh, look at him and look at the difference that he made in the world. You can make a huge difference in your world by living and living in the present. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kath. Friends, we don't have an applause button here, but if you want to press that raise hand button just to send Kath some love. This woman was speaking from her heart. Her light was shining, and we can all take something not only from her words, but her way of being. Kath, thank you so much. Friends, we're going to move on now to our demonstration of mediumship. This is just an opportunity for us all to see just how close our loved ones are. So, of course, not everyone will get a medium reading today, but I think just as Kath and myself are representative of the 132 people here at our global Sunday gathering. We'll get a handful of people from the spirit world that are representing all of our loved ones. So, our loved ones are an active part of our lives. They can multitask, they can go on to grow and learn and explore and do all kinds of wonderful things in the unseen world. But they can multitask and be with us as well. So I get the profound privilege of moderating these Sunday gatherings, and thousands of people from the spirit world have come through with messages for loved ones. If you listen to the messages, pull them for you, towards you. Even if you're not the one getting the reading, you get to witness how close they are. Sometimes there's little bits that are said that they see what the person is doing, or maybe there's a word or two at the end, the message that comes through, and you say, "Oh, I could use a little of that myself." So those in spirit are here for all of us, those that come through our medium today or any day. So I'm going to give a little instruction how our demonstration works. Kath is kind enough to be our demonstrating medium today. She will request from those in the spirit world to work with her. Now, we are still people when we migrate to the other side. Even though we don't breathe the same air, they have bodies, they have personalities, and they keep their personalities that they've had here. None of the ego, that stuff stays on earth. But that goodness, that sense of humor, that can often shine through. So we never know who's going to come through or how they're going to work. So we want everyone to be on the edge of your seat, really, and listen in. Spirit world knows just who's with us today. So Kath will give a description of the spirit person who's presented themselves to her. So everybody listen in. If you can understand all the information she shared as a person that no longer walks this earth, but you know from your life, we want you to press your raise hand button. Now, this person can be a relative, a loved one, a friend, a coworker, somebody you haven't thought about for years, but somebody that's been part of your life. So I say that raise hand button. If you want to press it again for me, I'll tell you why. Because sometimes there's two or more people that can take all the information given. If that's the case, our medium will give another bit of information. And if you can say, "Oh, that no longer fits," you'll notice that that raise hand button has changed. It no longer says raise hand, it says lower hand. Technology doesn't always work so well in our Sunday gatherings, but sometimes it does. So only raise your hand if you have that integrity that you can take all the information. Okay? If you can just take a little piece of it, don't raise your hand just yet. It's important we get to the right person. Now, again, all of our loved ones are working together for these messages to come through. If our loved one doesn't come through, doesn't mean they're not standing right by our side. They are. So I don't understand sometimes how the spirit world picks who comes through, but out of every single demonstration and every single reading, there's something that I can take from my life. So I'm hoping you can do the same. If you are the last person with your hand raised, I send a little link over to your device. You're going to get this pop-up with a unmute button. We only need to hear your voice. That's it. No cameras on. Don't worry about that. And when I say we need to hear your voice, we only need one of three responses. Because from this moment forward, anytime you see a medium or they give you a reading, all we need from you is a yes, a no, or I don't know to the information. We're trying to raise the level of mediumship in the world so that the mediums do the work. They're not asking you for things, all right? So just yes, no, or I don't know. And be honest, all right? If something doesn't fit, just say no. It's okay. No simply means new opportunity. And everybody else, what are we doing? We're pulling it towards us. Like, how is this reading for me? All right. That's all there is to it. Simple. But it's magical. It really is an opportunity to know that love never dies. Our loved ones are part of our lives. We will see them again. We will absolutely. So we always like to play a feel-good piece of music before we start our demonstration. Today is no different. We have the song A Sky Full of Stars by Coldplay. And because our theme is the light within, it's my personal belief that you can feel when someone's light is shining through a good song or a piece of poetry or a photograph or a piece of artwork, or even Kath sharing that address. Her light was shining bright. So this song is just like that, how it was created, and not only how it was created, but to me, how it fills myself with light. So we'll play the song and just imagine your loved ones by your side and feeling good. And then we'll do our demonstration of mediumship. So let me play the song. It's one of my favorites. And it's such a joyful video. Here we go. I just love that song. Thanks, Kath, for picking the music. We were
It's a good
dancing in
job
our
my
chairs.
mic was off.
I think everybody saw us dancing in our chairs.
Yes, a bit of chair dancing. Oh, it does you good, doesn't it? It certainly does make a difference. Many, many years ago, when when people sat, as you know, when Scott sits, before he sits, he has his music, doesn't he? And years ago in churches, before any physical mediumship took place, they used to go to Longton. This is all what I know about Longton Spiritualist Church. They all used to go and they used to clean. Everybody had a job to do. They all cleaned, so it was quite a community together. And they had music playing, and they all had a sing song. And it raised the vibrations for the spirit world to make it easier for the medium to work. And the spirit world certainly do love music. They really, really do. And when I chaired for Scott when he did the open weekend, and Eric did complain a little bit about Scott's music choices. So they don't like all music, but I think they do like music. And whilst I was sitting singing my head off, and it's a really good job, ladies and gentlemen, that you couldn't hear me because I'm absolutely tuneless, but I do like a good sing. And somebody once said to me, if you're a public speaker, it's really good to have a good loud sing song before you do get all your mistakes out of the way. I don't know if it's true, but it certainly lifts you, doesn't it? And as I was sitting there, I was aware of a gentleman who would have played the drums. Now, as he was playing the drums, I was aware of wanting to tap with my hands rather than with the drumsticks. But I know that wherever he sat, he would always use the table or in the car. That was always part of the drum kit as well. So wherever he went, I felt that he was a young man when he passed to the spirit world, but I was aware that he played the drums. First of all, does someone understand this? I know that there's a person who's put their hand up.
Thank you. Friends, if you understand this information, go ahead and press your raise hand button. All right, we see Anne with her hand raised and Melody. Okay, we got two.
Okay. Oh, that's aptly named, isn't it? Melody. We're
I
talking about
know.
music. Anne, you understand this?
Yes, yes,
Okay, sorry about that. And would you understand with this gentleman? He was a young man when he passed to the spirit world, I felt.
yes.
And I'm not saying he couldn't play the drums with sticks, but I was aware of him being able to drum out a beat using his hands on just about any surface.
Yes.
Okay. And I also felt that at some point in his life, he would have played in a band.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Um, The reason that I say that was, and I felt that when he was, as of course I was watching Coldplay, so he would have been aware of the music being played. That kind of music, that upbeat kind of music, was the kind of music that he appreciated, and I felt that he would have been with other people, so he would have played with other people.
With other people,
Oh,
informally, probably.
okay. Okay. But I felt that it was, a tin can could have been drummed on as well. Like I say, anything. He would have used cutlery, but anything to drum out a beat, I want to say there. And he makes me aware that, and you would understand if I said to you, I know he was a young man when he passed to the spirit world, but he never grew up.
Ah, yes.
He feels very much like a Peter Pan kind of
Yes. Yes.
character, and yes, it is overrated and all of that, but he had no intention of ever sort of towing the line and being a grown up.
Yes.
He had the most I know this doesn't mean a great deal to anybody else, but he had the most amazing smile.
Yes.
And when Sandra said about you can tell with people their light, his light was very, very bright.
Yes.
Okay, and he makes me aware here that you talk to him often,
Yes.
and you were talking to him about an hour before you came on.
Yes.
Okay, he makes me feel here that you know he doesn't sort of say yes out loud, but you very subtly get the answers that you ask him.
Yes.
So as I say, you won't get, yes, that's correct, or yes, that's
Sure.
right, yes, that's all right. But very, very subtly, you get that confirmation that what you were thinking is quite correct.
Yes.
Okay. I'm also aware here. Would you understand his I want to say his passing being in the summer months, towards the end of the summer months.
Beginning.
Right. The reason that I say that, so I question myself there, would you understand the significance of the sunflower?
Yes.
Okay. So in this country, they're in the latter part of the summer, not the beginning of summer. That's probably because in the UK it's still cold in
Yes.
in the beginning of summer. But I was aware of wanting to give you sunflowers, and also sunflower seeds and also the perfume sunflower as well.
Okay.
Okay. But yes, it's definitely the sunflowers are significant. But I also feel here, um, when he was little, would you understand that for some time he seemed to be shorter than the other kids, but then all of a sudden he grew and grew and grew and grew, and he seemed head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yes.
Okay, so like a sunflower, he's looking
Oh,
over everybody. He's looking over everybody, and that
yeah.
that beautiful ray of sunshine that followed him wherever he went. Now, I'm also aware here. Um, would you know if a person in your life who plays the harp?
I know a friend of mine. Yes.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that musical instrument myself, but I just kept seeing the harp. But I'm also aware with this young man, he must have tried Guinness
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
because the Guinness has got harp on it, hasn't it? You know, the
Oh.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's part of the logo is the Guinness is the harp. And I'm just aware here of wanting to say to you, um, it's okay to repeat yourself. It's okay to keep asking him. He's not going to get fed up of you. Please don't worry. That
Okay.
must have been something you've said that, because you keep having a conversation with him and you keep asking him questions, he'll never ever get fed up of hearing you ask him questions.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Anne?
Yeah, that's nice. I'm sure. I'm sure that's true. Yeah.
She's not very convinced about that, I feel. But but
Uh,
and I also feel here that there was many things he did living in the fast lane, vehicles, bikes, things that he never sort of sat down for very long. He was always doing things and wanting to try things before he was old enough to try things, do things before it was advisable for him to do things. And he really did live life
yes,
in the fast lane. And if I say to you, when it is, I want to say when people got together to talk about him, that's what they spoke about how he lived life as fully as anybody could do.
I agree with that. Yes, he did. He had a full life, even for a young
He,
man.
even for a young man, and yes, he was a young man, and 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 I feel I want to say to you, it's okay to put your toes in the water and try things and see if
Oh,
you like things, and don't be afraid to get it wrong,
okay.
but don't ever say no to
Okay.
try new things. I mean, that's up to you. But his advice would be do it, go for it. Be a daredevil, go for it, Anne. Does that
Oh
make sense,
dear.
Anne? Because I feel like these opportunities are coming up that you're you're wondering about whether you should do these things. Well, yes, do these things. Live
Okay.
and love and be daring and dare to do it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to me. I don't know his name or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not aware of that. I
Well,
just felt I wanted to speak to you to encourage you to have hope and
thank you.
to do it and do it anyway.
And I just want to say that the sunflowers I did put at the place where he passed in August, even though he passed in June.
Ah, okay. That's the end of summer, isn't it?
Yeah.
That makes sense now. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for speaking to me. And now I am aware of a lady here, and I feel that she lived to be a really good age, well into her 90s. And what I'm aware of here with her is she was quite the force to be reckoned with. Um, and if she was told that she couldn't go out, she was not happy at all and would love to take all the opportunities to go out. She loved bingo. She loved dancing when she was younger. She liked shopping very much. I feel that she liked to shop in. You do have charity shops in the US, don't you, Sandra? This lady liked shopping in the charity shops and she loved a bargain. She also took things to the charity shop, but she always came away with more than she'd taken for them. And I do feel that this lady is mum. Now, I don't know whose mum she is, but I feel that this is mum. And I feel that the name of Joyce would link with mum. I'm not saying she's named Joyce, but I am aware that that would link with her. Does this make sense so far to anybody?
Thank you so much. If you understand this information, or think this might be for you, press your raise hand button for us, please.
Okay.
And we'll wait patiently.
It does make me laugh. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, no, it's not working, it's not working. But I was aware that staying in, she felt like a caged animal, this lady, God bless her.
No hands up yet.
Okay. I am aware that this lady would have gone into I feel it's a nursing home rather than Lisa, rather than a residential, because of the care level of care that she needed. Lisa, does this make sense to you? I'm trying to think. There's some older women I knew, but I didn't know them well enough to know for sure.
Hello.
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 Hello. Does this make sense to you, Lisa?
Yes, my mom's name is Joyce, but my grandmother is the one in heaven. and she
Right.
was in her 90s.
And Lisa, would you understand with your grandmother, if this is correct, that she didn't always remember who everybody was, but a little face lit up. There was a recognition, but didn't always know everybody's name. She couldn't remember everybody's names anymore.
Yes,
Okay. Because I'm aware of this, it's I'm lucky at the moment. I don't have anything like dementia, and I do know it's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible disease, and there are many, many variations of it, as you know, Lisa. But I am aware here. I feel like for your grandmother, it was a little bit like living in a fog some days,
yes,
and then other days. It was as if, oh, this fog's lifted a little bit, and she was on top form, and she could be quite quick and sharp with her wit and with the words that she used.
yes,
I'm trying to be diplomatic. Sometimes, Lisa, she said things that were quite jaw-dropping for some people.
yes,
You could sit there going, oh, okay. This is where we are today, then, is it? And Lisa, would it be correct to say that you didn't correct her? You didn't ask her, don't you remember? You didn't pull her up about things. You just went with the flow.
yes,
Okay. But not everybody did.
correct.
Okay. Which was, I mean, you were always on a losing battle with your grandmother anyway. Whoever tried to challenge her when she was well, she wouldn't have it. So, you know, the the problems in her mind sort of magnified that part of who she was.
Yes,
Okay. As I always say, some people with problems with the memory and how they present themselves go and change, and they're all lovely and sweet and soft. That wasn't your grandmother, Lisa.
definitely not.
And she is adorable, but she would not like anybody to say that about her.
Mm,
She, no, she could be, as I say, she could be quite the force to be reckoned with. But also, Lisa, I want to say, if you needed anybody to fight your corner, she could do it for the whole world. There wouldn't be any wars if your grandmother was in charge, put it that way. She'd have sorted them all out.
yes,
This is what we need. This is what we need, a person like your grandmother running the world. And I'm also aware here, she loved to be outside. Her happiest moments were spent outside, going shopping, going to a charity shop, having a look at what she could buy. And then within a month, she got rid of all that she got from the charity shop because she didn't know why she got it in the first place. But then she'd pick up a whole new load of stuff.
yes. That was
Okay.
my,
And Lisa, would it make sense to you that your mum has a tendency sometimes to do that as well?
yes.
Okay, the apple doesn't fall far, shall we say? And you're going through at the moment quite a frustrating time, Lisa. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So you don't know what you're going to get when you ring her or when you go and see her, and you don't know what version you're going to have. And regardless of how you try to prepare yourself, I feel quite frustrated. And God love you, Lisa. I do feel for you. I've been there myself, and it's not always. Sometimes you come away and you have to laugh to yourself because it's, oh my goodness, I can't believe she's actually come out with that. And then other times it's, I've got to grit my teeth.
yes,
Okay. And of course, your grandmother now in the spirit world, she finds it all very amusing to see how you're battling. And it's like Groundhog Day some days.
Definitely.
Um, and some days you are losing hope. And, sometimes when I'd walk in, Mitch would be standing there with a glass of wine. Is this what you need? Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not saying you're quite like that, Lisa, but you need somebody to cushion against, to let off steam, because you can't hold all this in. It's a lot to take on board. Joking aside, it's a lot to be dealing with, Lisa.
Yes, it is.
It is, and your sense of humor is what gets you by most days. You have to laugh
Yes.
about it. And you've said
Yes.
this, you've actually said, if I didn't laugh, I'd cry, sorry. And this is what's getting me through right now. And I also feel here that you are a wonderful, wonderful daughter and carer, and you are a wonderful entertainer for your mum, and you try your very, very best to make sure that she is receiving the best care possible and that she's doing as well as she can possibly do. And I don't want you to beat yourself up about this anymore, please. Does that make sense, Lisa?
Yes, it does.
Okay, because there are other people, but not all the other people are willing to join and be a part of what's going on right now. And there isn't anything you can do about that. But you are doing your best and you are going above and beyond, Lisa. But you also need to care for Lisa. Yes,
Yes, I do.
you
Yes.
do. As we always used to say in social services, who cares for the carer? You need a bit of support, you need a bit of TLC, you need a bit of help as well. So please, please, please make sure you have space for you as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. And your grandmother really did appreciate your humor when you went to see her, even though at times you found it difficult. The pair of you always found time to have a laugh, and that's what gets you by. But having that
Yes.
little space for Lisa to do something just for you, no matter what it is, go and have your hair done, go and have your nails done, go and have a facial, go to swimming baths, go to the gym, go to the park, sit in nature, do something for you.
Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Oh, and before I leave you, would you understand? Have you got sovereigns from your grandparents, Lisa?
Say again?
Do you have sovereigns, gold sovereigns, or gold coins of some description?
No. No.
Okay. Does your mum have some?
No.
I'm not going to say you sure because you're telling me that.
Um,
Okay.
there was a ring.
There's something that's and I want it's in a box and it's a flat box and it looks like a coin or a commemorative disc or something that you should have or that your mom has.
I should look around.
Okay,
I should
okay,
look around.
okay. And I don't know who it is, but there's a gentleman who's come in here. And Lisa, would you have memories of playing in the snow with your grandfather?
Yes.
Okay. And I've got to say, he made out that he wasn't very good at throwing a snowball. So he
No,
let you hit him and he missed.
yes.
Okay. And he always made sure that when you were together, he made sure you giggled. He made
Yes.
sure that you laughed to the point that you were holding your stomach and sort of
Yes.
can't breathe type of laughing. And God, these two people, they adore you. They absolutely adore you so, so much. And that you must have crocus and snowdrops in your garden or near to where you live that are coming up.
I just got back from Michigan blizzard.
Oh, that sounds awful. But mind you, we've had rain for I think it's 38 days on the trot now.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
but I'm aware here of wanting to be with you, sitting in the quiet where there are snowdrops that you can see, where there are the tulips will be coming up, and then later on there will be the daffodils coming up. And this is a place for Lisa.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You do
Thank you so much.
contemplation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, it's soul food for you. Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Lisa. You
Thank you
beautiful
so
woman.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm aware of a gentleman here, and he feels like Dad to me. And I am aware with Dad that I'm not saying he did have a brilliant singing voice. He loved singing. And there's a difference, isn't there? But I am aware here that Dad liked singing the kind of songs of the crooners, like Frank Sinatra. And I am aware here that Dad was very, very good at getting all the babies to sleep in the family. He got big muscly arms that he was very good at cuddling. He gave the best hugs, and I know that it's a popular name, but William Bill is a name that's coming in there. And I know from what I'm aware of, this gentleman would have I feel he would have ran his own business, because I feel he's really a brilliant employer and a man who looked after his little band of employees. Does this make sense to anybody?
Thank you so much. Friends, you know what to do. If you can understand this information, press that raise hand button, please. And we're
With
patiently watching the screen, hoping that there'll be a hand up.
hello, hello. Okay. And as I'm working with this gentleman, I am aware here that he had problems with his heart for quite some time before he passed to the spirit world. I am aware here that he would have had medication, but my dad was a crooner, but not the William. Would you understand William connected with your dad? It's not now, I don't feel he is William, but I feel that he connects to the name of William or Bill. And I'm aware here that he would have had medication for a heart condition for some time. I love that your dad was a crooner, Sandra Smith.
Sandra, do you want
And
to press your raise hand button? We'll see if this is for you.
sometimes the voice, just a yes or a no helps. Believe it or not, it does. It's like confirmation. Um,
Let's see if we can hear her voice.
I'm also aware here. Hello, Sandra.
Whoops.
Hi,
Hello.
Sandra.
Hi.
Hello.
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 If this is correct, would you understand with your dad, him growing tomatoes?
Yes, he did.
And would you understand for me, Sandra, that you can never eat tomatoes without comparing them to your lovely dad's tomatoes?
Well, he was definitely had a green thumb, and even his last year, he had his tomato cages out in his yard. I don't know if I think of him as a gardener, not so much as when I eat a tomato. I can't take that with honesty.
Uh-huh. Uh, that this does feel right, Sandra. Would you understand a Bill or a William? Not your dad, but would you understand a Bill or a William within your circle of friends and family?
Yes, the
Okay.
my dad's nephew was William.
Okay. And your dad, I feel that he was a very compassionate gardener, and he would have had conversations with his plants and his tomatoes and encouraged them to grow and given them a lot of TLC and gone in and good morning to everybody and in the
Mhm.
garden. And because your dad knew that with that kind of love, it pays tenfold and more.
I think he was more connected in that way than he was to demonstrate it to his girls.
Just
Okay.
yes and no, Sandra.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. I understand it's not always easy, but yes, no, or don't know is absolutely fine. But I do feel this connection between your dad and the natural world, his slice of heaven in his garden, of which he really adored. And
Mhm.
even the weeds, they're not weeds. They're still part of the garden.
Yeah.
But I do feel that it was all immaculate. And I feel that for your dad, he he very much cared about what happened to people. And I'm not saying that he was all demonstrative and emotionally demonstrative with people, but he cared deeply about what happened to others and about for the people, even though the people who were within his family, it mattered to him, they mattered to him, and he would do his utmost to do right by other people.
Yes.
Okay. And this is something, Sandra, that you have taken on board and that you have passed on within your own family. And everybody matters, and it's a kind of domino effect. We all need to take care of one another, and that's what you do, that's what he did, that's what you do, that's what your family do. Does this make sense?
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you. Yes.
And he makes me aware here that has mattered a great deal of recent times, that you have made sure that the people within your life know how much you care for them. And in doing so, it's made a huge amount of difference to their lives, in improving their lives.
Yes.
Okay. He's so proud of you. He is so proud of you. And I also feel that I don't feel you grow tomatoes, Sandra, but I feel that he's sort of at a loss as to why nobody's sort of taken up this mantle of growing the tomatoes quite like he did.
My son does.
Now, would you understand with your dad? I don't feel he grew little tomatoes. I feel he grew whoppers.
Yes.
And your son hasn't quite perfected the whoppers.
He's working on it.
Okay, that's where I want to be. You see, he's still very interested, and he's still he still wants you to know that he's watching what's going on. He knows what's going on. And Sandra, would you understand why I want to say to you, will you be careful with your hands and make sure that you put the necessary cream on your hands, Sandra? I don't know what that means.
Oh, yes, I sure do. I understand that 100%.
Okay. He seems to know. It doesn't matter that I don't know, does it? It doesn't matter at all. But he seems to want to keep your hands warm and not allow them to get cold. So you understand that, and to make sure you use the correct creams and everything, and to make sure that you know that you still matter greatly to him.
Oh, that's beautiful. I appreciate
Um,
that.
and I want to give to you um what he's giving me is bulbs. He's still in the garden. He's still in the garden and he's giving me, I feel as if somebody's been looking at what to buy, as in the bulbs for the garden, what to plant, what to put in. And would you understand? Your dad liked different heights of things. So he liked things that were tall, like gladioli, and he liked things that were short. So I know that he liked like the iris coming through and the snowdrops coming through. But I'm just aware here of really having a vast selection so that you can see something each season that comes along.
Yes.
You'll have an array of colour there as well, okay? And I'm also aware here, Sandra, did your dad have a go at growing grapes?
Yes. He grew up with them. Yes.
And
And
I
I believe he
felt that
made,
they were, like the really sweet, like are they muscadet? Is that right? Is that
I don't know that name. I know
muscat?
Concord.
Anyway, a very, very sweet
Hmm.
a very sweet grape that is particular to certain wines. I'm also aware here he was an upstanding gentleman and a true gentleman, your dad. He wasn't one of these, he was never loud or vexatious with people. He allowed them to be who they were. And your dad always voted with his feet. If he wasn't keen on something, he wouldn't do it again.
Yes.
And he wants you to remember that. You don't have to say anything. Vote with your feet and walk away, Sandra.
Yes. Thank you.
You understand what he means.
I do.
That's good. That's
I
good.
do.
And finally, before I leave you, I just want to give to you. Now, in this country, we have the two-tone daffodil that comes out in March. So I'm aware here that March is a significantly emotional month for you, Sandra.
Yes.
And he's giving you because those are the ones with the really sweet aroma as well, aren't they? Those
Yes.
I love the smell of daffodils. It's not strong, it's very, very subtle, but he wants you to know that occasionally you get that smell of the greenhouse tomato smell.
Yes.
It's unique, isn't it? You don't get it in the
Yes.
shops. Occasionally you get that and it's like oh, and then it's gone again. And it's very, very subtle, but your dad was always subtle. But it's his way of saying, I'm here. I'm,
Beautiful.
I haven't gone anywhere. I promised you I would look after you, and he is.
How wonderful. That is very, very meaningful. Thank you,
Thank you
Kath.
so much, Sandra. Two Sandras together. Fabulous. Have I got time for another one or no?
Well, I don't want to rush you, but everyone's going to say yes.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Okay. I'm aware of a gentleman here, and I want to say young man, and I am aware that he loved and was very, very good at winter sports. I feel that he could snowboard and I feel that he was very good on skis. I've never done it myself, so I haven't a clue what I'm talking about, but there you go. Not skates. I don't want ice skating, but I want skiing and I want snowboarding and I am aware, oh, I don't know what the resort's called, but I'm aware of going away um, to a resort where the family would have gone together. And I felt that this is son. I felt that this is somebody's son who loved the family get-togethers in the winter holiday place. Nick, okay.
Thank you.
Hello,
Nick,
Nick.
you just need to press your unmute button, Nick.
Can you
Hello.
Hello.
hear me now?
There you are. I see Jody's got her
Hi.
hand up as well.
Hello. Does this make sense to you, Nick?
Uh, so everything makes sense besides, I think he said son. He would have been mom's son, but my brother.
Okay. Is your mum usually on with you, or does she come on here?
Yeah, she normally is on
Okay.
with me.
Okay. Oh, and you would understand, um, he was, I want to say that he was very good snowboarding.
Yes.
And well, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you propel yourself up in the air like he did and do all the twists and land on your feet, because I just like, think I'd land on my head if it were me. But he was really very talented. I want to say so talented that I feel like I want to compete doing this particular sport. And he was, I feel he was a competitive type of character as well.
Yes.
Um, he compete with anybody standing next to him, and he always felt that he could beat anybody, no matter what it
Correct.
was he was doing. Can I also say here, he makes me aware of playing basketball as well, and he could get really physical.
Yes.
Yes, yes. A few scrapes and scraps and yeah, and tussles, but nobody giving in. And this is your upbringing, Nick.
Yes.
It was it was not for the faint-hearted, put it that way. And he grew up with a very healthy competitive spirit. It wasn't he was never over above himself. He knew his capabilities for sure.
Yes.
He always liked to push the envelope a little bit. Let's see if we can get some more. And he would push you as well.
Yes.
And literally sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Would you understand photographs of him mid-air in on the snow scene?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
because I
Very
feel like
recently.
he's
Wow.
okay. I feel like there's, I don't know if they are, but they look very professional. And that and there's a photograph of him where he's got one hand on the board and the other hand sort of like this, and you can see the spray of snow behind him, and he's sort of about to go, but he's holding it, and it's like wow. He's coming out of, or he's going into, I can't make my mind up which, a turn and a twist.
I
Um,
think kind of, yes.
okay, you understand what I mean? It's
Yes, yes.
mid-action shot, put it that
Yes.
way, and
Yes.
it's very impressive. It's very impressive, and I also feel here that he was quite the romantic, and he always with that smile of his, he could melt
Yes.
anybody's heart,
Yes.
and the boys all wanted to be like him, and the girls all wanted to be with him. Shall I?
Yeah, certain ones, yes.
He
Mhm.
had he had quite the way with him, and he could, when we started with the light within, well, his was like, wow,
Yes.
walked into the room and it shone. It was like this really bright halo that he had there. But I also feel there was a little bit of devilment with him.
Yes.
Yes, he could be quite the tease, and between you and him, it could be quite. If anybody was watching, they would think, "Oh my God! Oh, good grief!" It could be quite merciless, but it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, and he still ribs you. He still takes the mickey out of you, and you still you say, "Look at it, yeah, but I'm the nice looking one. I'm the good looking one. Look at me. I'm the one with it all." And he is so pleased that you look at everything in the way that you do, and you are trying to see. When I said about living,
Wow. Yes.
and you are trying to do that, and he understands that that's not always easy, and I'm also aware here there must be, it's either a tablet as in a pad iPad, or it's a digital photo frame, tablet thing, but is something at home where his photograph is on a loop. Would you understand that, Nick?
Um, not the technology part, but the photograph being present consistently, yes.
Okay, would you understand it? I feel like it's on a device where there's family photographs, you, him, everybody, where I don't know if it's your computer or it's on a tablet or something, where different photographs appear on the screen.
Um, kind of.
Okay, I'm not saying that it's always his photograph, but his photograph does appear within it, if you know what I mean. And there's also a talk or something to do where there's something about a memorial or doing something in his name for him, so that you look at some. I don't know what it is. It's not immortalized exactly, and he doesn't particularly want everybody to sit and mope and be gloomy about it. His attitude is look at me and say thank you for knowing me,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I am thankful for knowing you. He is so appreciative of the brother you still are to him, and you still have got his back. You still defend him to the hilt,
yes,
and you still bigging him up. So
yes.
he is so grateful for you and all that you do, and trying to boost the family and trying to get them to talk about him, because that's what it takes. You do it, and you know that it helps you enormously to talk about him and to look at pictures of him, and yes, to say what a fool he was at times, and yes, to say hand on heart, was he the best looking of us? I'm not sure, but you have a laugh about it.
Yeah,
And it's a whole host of different emotions that goes into what you're living with at this moment in time. And I also want to say here, um, it might have been a little bit more difficult if you were not on your own today.
right.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay. But he's so pleased that you came, because you nearly didn't.
Correct.
Okay. So in those quiet moments when the spirit world gently nudges in the direction they want us to go in, he gently nudges you, go on, go on. Okay,
Yes,
do it.
yes.
And this change that's coming, do it. It'll do you the world
Wow.
of good.
Wow,
Stop
thank you.
sitting in your comfort zone, Nick Taylor.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I
Okay,
needed
you're
that.
very
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Kath. And hopefully everybody can feel the love of the spirit, friends. And gosh, I got some messages within those messages as well. I could take the gold coin. With that, friends, I've got some announcements. First of all, we want to thank Kath for being here today, and a shout out to her husband, Mitch, who is not feeling so well. You can find out more about Kath and Mitch at their website, thesoultrust.com. Once a month, Kath and Mitch host our free grief cafe. It's 90 minutes with people who care. Again, they're both advanced grief specialists. They're good people. It's not recorded. It's just a wonderful opportunity to be with others and to learn some wonderful things about grief and get some tools to move through the process, and they care. So the next one is coming up on the 26th of February. In whatever time zone you're in right now, it would start at this time when you're looking at the clock. You can find out more about that at wedon'tdie.com. That's my home base. Click on the store page. You'll see everything coming up as it's coming up. So you can register there. There's upcoming classes. You'll see our Sunday gathering. You'll see lots of things. So it's all there. wedon'tdie.com. Click on the store page. Now, on the main page at We Don't Die, that's where I post my podcast episodes. We've got some great podcast episodes. I have, in fact, over 800 of them now. So you better believe that I believe and know and have heard the most magnificent stories of reasons to believe in the afterlife, through medical, through science, through mediums, through so much more. So if you're not yet signed up for those, it's We Don't Die, and then also Shades of the Afterlife. And speaking of letting the light shine and being empowered, my guest on the past We Don't Die episode was our friend Rosemary Musacchio. You know her. She's been here on our Sunday gathering as a speaker. Rosemary is nonverbal. She's got no use of her limbs. In fact, the way she communicates is with a pointer typed on a helmet, and she types away at her keyboard. So we have an extraordinary conversation. Talk about letting the light shine. She has gone hang gliding, motorcycling, horseback riding, all these things you would never think she would do, she has done. And it's such a powerful conversation of not only her training as a medium and giving messages to people, but also what's possible when you think it's not possible. So a big message coming through all of these demonstrations today to me was really go for it. That's what life is about. So we don't die.com. Check on everything there to register for next week. This Sunday gathering page you might wish to visit. You can register for many upcoming Sunday gatherings. You can also watch past replays, and a special shout out to those special people, you know who you are, who have donated to make our Sunday gathering possible. Thank you so much. The expense behind what we do is a lot, and I appreciate it. It's not necessary, but I really appreciate it. So thank you. You know who you are. There's a little donation page there at the Sunday gathering page at wedon'tdie.com if you're interested. So thank you. And just the last thing I want to say, that going back to that reading, sometimes we wait for something to happen to dictate how our day is going to go. Really, don't we? And especially if we're watching the news, we can feel gloomy and sad, but it takes something, my friends, to turn up that light, because people follow us. They look to us for how we are being. And it takes something, but you've heard me say this before. If you're with somebody and you're not in the greatest of moods, strategically ask some questions like, hey, where's the best place you've ever vacationed to? Or what was it like when you first met your spouse or your partner? Those kind of questions. I'm single, I don't have kids, but what was it like when you had your first child? Or have you ever had a dog or cat you really loved? Engage in positive conversation, and you just might be surprised that it lights you both up. So we can either wait for things to happen or we can make things happen. That's a quote from my mother, who's just upstairs, but it takes something. And it's hard sometimes really to convince ourselves. They say put a smile on your face for 30 seconds and you'll feel better. Sometimes really, I just have to put on some music from high school and dance around a little bit. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, Sandra's back, and that's the light shining. So whatever it is, I know you're part of this community. I thank you really for being here, but let your light shine, because people in the world need it, and it causes a ripple effect. So with that, I will turn it over to Kath for our closing prayer.
Thank you, Sandra. Beautiful words as always. And thank you for being my wing woman, not wingman, wing woman. Thank you. And thank you all for tuning in, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you. You're all amazing people. And we thank that power and energy that has provided us this evening with peace and healing, calm, a sense of love and togetherness, and a sense that regardless of the miles that actually physically separate us, we are very much together. We are there for one another, and we will be there in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead. All that we ask is that the power and energy that has been created be used for good, for healing wherever it is needed in our world. And may we all appreciate each other, and importantly, ourselves as well, for all that we do, all that we are, and all that we endeavour to be in our lives. May we walk in harmony and peace, and forever be grateful for all that we have, for our spirit world, for our families and our friends. We are truly blessed. Amen.
Thank you so much, Kath. And thank you, friends, for being here. As we go into our closing song, just speaks what Kath was talking about, Better Together by Jack Johnson. And isn't it? Don't you feel better because you're here today? I sure do. Here we go. That was beautiful. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next Sunday, if not before. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, Kath.
Bye,
And hi to
Sandra.
Mitch.
Bye,
And
everybody.
thanks
Lots
to our
of
loved
love.
ones. Go let your light shine. Bye.